If you are looking to get a pen tablet so that you can get the best possible drawing experience, the one to get in 2022 is a professional pen tablet from Wacom, the Wacom Intuos Pro. But these Intuos Pro tablets are very expensive. Lower cost options exist. For example, recent models made by Huion and XP Pen and other competitors are coming closer every year to the drawing experience that a Wacom Intuos Pro offers. These competitors offer models that provide 85% or 90% of what you can get with a Wacom professional pen tablet, but at a substantially reduced price. And so they can be a terrific value. But the Wacom Intuos Pro is still delivering the best possible drawing experience. Another option is to explore buying a used Wacom Intuos professional tablet. I have purchased many used Wacom pen tablets. I'd like to share what I have learned so that if you want to go down this path of purchasing a used pen tablet, you can make a more informed choice. As I explore this topic in this video, I will go over some considerations that you need to take into account when purchasing a used pen tablet. I will explore the different product lines they have for professional pen tablets and the different features that are available. And I will provide some guidelines and recommendations to help you make an informed decision. Before I go too deep into this topic, let's make sure we are clear on what kind of graphics tablet I am talking about. There are three kinds of graphics tablets: pen tablets, pen displays, and pen computers. In this video, I'm specifically talking about pen tablets. I know some of you are very interested in pen displays. Even though I'm not covering pen displays in this video, I think this video will help you, because many of the topics for pen tablets are still relevant for pen displays. Just keep in mind that pen displays are more complex devices. So if you're interested in purchasing a used pen display, there are many more things you need to consider. Why should you even consider buying a used pen tablet? First, of course, you could save a lot of money. Second, pen tablets are also highly reliable devices. This makes them great candidates for buying used. Third, even very old pen tablets will work with a modern operating system as long as you have a suitable driver. Fourth, the core features you need in a pen tablet for doing creative work have been available for over 20 years. And fifth, the EMR technology, which is the basis for how these pen tablets work, that technology has been stable and essentially unchanged for over 20 years. Here are some basic guidelines to get us started, and we will dive deep into these topics later in the video. First, this is all about getting the best possible drawing experience. That is why I am focusing this video on Wacom's professional pen tablets. Drivers are critical. You have to have a driver to use the pen tablet with your computer. And also, you need to be confident that driver updates are going to be available for your pen tablet. Your pens are the most likely problem you are ever going to have with a pen tablet. Pens can break and you can lose pens. So you need to make sure that there is a good supply of replacement pens for the pen tablet you pick. Finally, we need to address the physical aspects of the device. The size and the shape of the pen tablet will contribute to the overall drawing experience. And we need to understand how to deal with the various wear and tear issues that a used pen tablet might have. Wacom has produced so many pen tablets over the past 20 years that one of the things we need to be very clear on is how to identify which of those pen tablets are actually their professional pen tablet models. First, let's take a look at the names of the tablets. If the name says Intuos Pro, then it certainly is a professional pen tablet. If the name says Intuos and then a number, specifically 5, 4, 3, or 2, then those are definitely professional pen tablets. If the name of the tablet says Intuos and then a number X and another number, for example Intuos 6X8, then that is a professional pen tablet. In this case, the two numbers represent the height and the width of the active area of the tablet given in inches. To make it simpler for me to talk about these tablets with two numbers in their name, I will call them in this video Intuos 1. even though Wacom does not call them that. If the name of the tablet just contains the word Intuos, without the words Pro or a number X number, then it is not a professional pen tablet. It is one of Wacom's consumer line. If there are any other names, like Bamboo or One by Wacom, then those definitely are not a professional pen tablet. Those are part of the consumer line as well. Here's a very important pro tip. These names can be confusing. Don't rely on just the names. Make sure you know the exact model number. To make this easy, I've listed out the exact model numbers that you need to know. Already you can see why knowing the model numbers is important. Wacom has released a model called Intuos Pro twice, once in 2013 and the latest model in 2017. And they have the same exact name, but the features are slightly different. For example, the Intuos Pro model in 2017 has more pressure levels than the Intuos Pro model from 2013. Because they have the same name, if you're going to purchase one of these pen tablets, make sure you know the exact model number. Now that we have a list of Wacom professional pen tablet models over the past 20 years, let's start with some basic recommendations on which ones you should consider if you're going to buy used. I will make the full thinking behind these recommendations clear later in this video. In 2022, there are 3 models that I think are suitable for buying used. The Intuos Pro model from 2017, the Intuos Pro model from 2013, and the Intuos 5. The Intuos 4 and the Intuos 3 pen tablets are fantastic products, but I do not recommend that you get them used. Because Wacom has not released updated drivers for these models in quite a while, I think it's a risk, and that's why I think you should avoid them. And finally, I certainly do not recommend ever getting the Intuos 2 or Intuos 1. The reasons for this have to do with pen availability, because it is very hard to find pens for those models. Furthermore, the Intuos 1 model is just missing a core feature. They don't support tilt sensitivity. I want to spend just a little bit of time clarifying my experience and background with Wacom pen tablets and with used pen tablets. First, I have used a lot of Wacom pen tablets over the years, and I still have quite a number of them. Today I have 9 that I own. Here I have marked the ones in red that I own today. Of those 9 tablets that I own currently, I bought 7 of them used on eBay. And of those 7 tablets I bought used, I used 2 of them daily. Currently, I spent 80% of my drawing time with the Wacom Intuos 4 XL. Now keep in mind, I don't recommend that people purchase an Intuos 4 model, but because I love the experience of drawing on a very large tablet, I decided the risk was worth it for me. Now we take a look at the core features of a pen tablet across all of Wacom's professional pen tablet models. For a used pen tablet, I have suggested minimum values for 3 key features. For pressure levels, I think you want a pen tablet that has at least 2048 levels of pressure. And it is my opinion that 2048 is more than enough to do quality creative work with a pen tablet. Tilt has been standardized for quite a while with Wacom pen tablets, so all the models, except for Intuos 1, support 60 degrees of tilt. And the tablet resolution, the lines per inch, the LPI, has been static at 5080 for almost 20 years now. So based on those minimums, anything from an Intuos 4 and above has all the core features you need. Now let's talk about device reliability. We need to consider the reliability separately of the tablet itself and the pen that we use with the tablet. First, let's start with the tablets. The fundamental EMR technology has been stable forever in these tablets. And this is the technology literally behind the active area of the pen tablet. And what makes it especially reliable is that it has no moving parts. Now, tablets also have other kinds of inputs like buttons or dials, what are sometimes called express keys. If these components are built with capacitive touch, they again have no moving parts and tend to be very reliable. But if the buttons can be depressed, they obviously have some moving parts. These inputs are still highly reliable though, and it is not very common that they fail. Now the pen is a very different story. The pen has a lot of small moving parts. You can see these in the tip of the pen with the nib, you can see these at the end of the pen with the eraser, and of course the buttons on the side. These parts do seem a little delicate, and they can be affected by a sudden impact. For example, if you were to drop the pen onto a hard surface. Now, I want to make it clear that I still think the pens are super reliable. I've dropped my pens many times over the years. Not a single one has broken. The only time I broke one of my pens is when I stepped on one and broke it into 2 pieces. But no matter what, based on what I've seen others experience, it is clear that the pens are not as reliable as the tablet itself is. Ultimately, the thing to keep in mind is, if there is a physical problem with your device, it is most likely that the source of the problem is the pen and not the tablet. This is why it is very important that you think about the availability of replacement pens in case your pen breaks or you simply lose your pen. The form factor of a pen tablet is really more about the physical aspects of the device, things that contribute a lot to the ergonomics of using the tablet. Over the past 20 years, Wacom has released many pen tablet models, and they have had a variety of active area sizes and aspect ratios. And for the last decade, Wacom has standardized on 3 active area sizes: small, medium, and large. Some of the older tablets have some interesting variations. For example, some models have very large active areas, like the Wacom Intuos 4 XL. This is a model I use every day. And some have unusual aspect ratios, for example 4:3, and some models are even square. The thickness of a pen tablet also will contribute to the ergonomics and the drawing experience. So let's take a look at how the models have changed. We can see that the tablets have overall become quite a bit thinner. The latest Wacom Intuos Pro model from 2017 is about 9mm thick, and I don't expect any future models to get thinner than that. In this chart, you can also see there are some very thick models. These are the ones that have the exceptionally large active areas. The Wacom Intuos 4 extra large model that I use, for example, is 28mm thick. That's slightly over an inch. The cabling for these pen tablets has also changed over the years. The older tablets tend to have a permanently affixed USB cord. Starting with the Wacom Intuos 4 model, Wacom moved to adding a USB port on the side of the pen tablet instead of a permanently attached cable. I know some of you are very picky about which kinds of USB ports you want your devices to support, so keep in mind that only the latest model, the Intuos Pro from 2017, uses a USB-C port on the pen tablet. The previous 3 generations use a mini USB port. If we are considering getting a used pen tablet, we have to talk about the wear and tear that the device might have. Wear and tear in the form of little scratches and bumps on the sides or on the back or on the buttons of a pen tablet aren't really very important because they do not affect how it feels to draw with the tablet. However, on the active area, we really need to think about it carefully because it most certainly can affect your drawing experience. The tablets you'll find used exhibit a wide variety of wear and tear on the active area. Sometimes the wear and tear looks like there's a region on the active area which is just shinier than the other parts. But if you draw your pen across it, you won't feel anything, so it doesn't really affect your drawing experience, and it's just a cosmetic issue. However, some used pen tablets that you'll see have very significant scratching on the active area. It can be so significant that as you move your pen across the active area, you'll actually feel the scratches. And in fact, you can actually hear the scratches as you try to draw. And the worst part is, these severe scratches can actually deflect the tip of the pen. So as you're trying to draw in an application, you will find it impossible to get a smooth line. I can tell you from my own experience, you will not enjoy drawing if your used pen tablet has this amount of wear and tear on the active area. So if you're going to get a used pen tablet, please specifically ask about the wear and tear on the active area. So what happens if you do get a pen tablet that has a lot of wear and tear on the active area? Well, there are some options. For a very small number of Wacom models, Wacom offers a replacement surface. It's called the texture sheet. So if you do get a very scratched up tablet, you could purchase a texture sheet, replace the surface, and it'll feel like new again. Of course, only a few Wacom models support this replaceable texture sheet, and it can be hard to find a texture sheet. Another option is to find a thin piece of plastic and put it on top of your tablet to act as a new surface. I purchased a used Intuos 2 model that came with an extremely scratched up surface, and this is what I had to do to make it smooth. Realistically, I do not recommend you go through the trouble and the cost of finding a plastic replacement surface. It's easier just to make sure you buy a used pen tablet whose surface is smooth. Now let's talk about the pens a little more. Here's a chart that shows the compatibility between the pen models and the tablet models. It should be clear why I do not recommend Intuos 3 or Intuos 2. Those models have very specific pens that they're compatible with, and those pens are in low supply in the used market. Also, just because these are old pens, it doesn't mean they're cheap. Also, sometimes they only come as a package with the tablet, so you end up purchasing a tablet and a pen when all you really wanted was the pen. And this is something I had to go through. I needed to buy an Intuos 2 pen, but I could never find anyone who was selling just the pen. So I ended up buying a pen and tablet just to get the pen I needed. With Intuos 4 and above, you can buy pens new, and there are plenty you can buy used. You might be tempted to try using a more modern pen with an older tablet, even though they're not listed as being compatible. But here's what happens when you do that. In this case, I used a more modern Wacom Pro Pen 2 with my Wacom Intuos 4 XL. And this is the message that I saw. As you can see, the Wacom driver detected that this was an incompatible pen for the tablet and would not let me use it in any way. And now our last topic, drivers. Currently, Wacom is publishing updated drivers for the Intuos Pro model and the Intuos 5 model, and curiously, one model of the Intuos 4, the Intuos 4 XL. I really do not know how much longer Wacom will continue to support the Intuos 4 XL, but you can see why I think it's a safer bet to get a used Intuos Pro or Intuos 5, because they are still being actively supported by Wacom with drivers. Okay folks, that wraps it up for this discussion on purchasing a used Wacom Professional pen tablet. I hope I've given you a lot to think about and consider if you're going down the path of purchasing a used pen tablet. I make these videos because I am really passionate about creative technology. I want you to see some of the fascinating aspects of all this creative technology, and I also want to help you make great decisions about which technologies you want to use. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you had a great time watching. Thank you for your time.